I started scouting with the help of one, two people, and I got a job in a hospital. And and as at this time, they were like, okay, you have to go back complete your studies. When you have your degree, your diploma is the only proof that okay, you
Why do
studied.
they call it diploma instead
This
of
is what
BSc?
they call it in Europe,
Oh,
actually.
okay,
In
diploma.
almost, yes.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us again. So in today's video, we'll be talking about what it took him as a Nigerian studying far away from family, nobody, and still coming out tops. You are the best graduating student, right?
Mhm.
He was the very best graduating student in his set. I think even for so many years
Yeah, I got the
overall.
red diploma, and that was like, I think it's in my school, that was over years, they hadn't had any foreign students
Foreign student, yes,
with
get
that.
that kind of certificate. So he's going to tell us how was it like being away from family for 7 years. Like I'm seeing him for the first time after 7 years, being away from everybody, having to go through the war, moving from one border to the other, from one country to the other. Then he still wrote his final exam and he still came out overall best as a foreign student. So we need to know, want to hear how were you able to prove this?
Okay, first of all, I mean, everything, I'll give God the glory for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I started off on a good note in my school. I think that's the first thing. I had the hunger, the desire to do well.
Mm.
I mean, knowing how much it took me and what it took to finally start my medical career. Yeah, I had the hunger and the desire to be the best. So in my first year, I think I had a CGP of in 5/5. So that was like a good start. And
Five
then
over five.
yes, and then I had to build
On
on
it.
that. Yes.
You didn't relent. You didn't say,
Mm.
okay,
No, getting to the top is difficult, but remaining
Yeah.
at the top is even much more difficult. So
Mm.
yeah, getting there was difficult. I deprived myself of a lot of things like the little enjoyment here and there,
Pleasure,
pleasures.
exuberance,
Yes,
youthful exuberance.
yes, I had to deprive myself of some of those things. Yeah, and then I started off on a good note, and I had to maintain it because I always like to see out anything I start.
Mm.
Yeah, I always like to get to the end.
So were there times you got discouraged?
Yes, a lot of times. Sometimes I think it was in my third year. I called my brother and I was literally almost crying and saying I wasn't going to continue doing this anymore because some days are very difficult. To go to school and the teachers sometimes they make you feel like you are not ready to become a doctor.
Are you
Something
serious?
like this. Yes, even as a bright student, even as whatever. Some days you are because you are constantly tested, you're constantly squeezed, trying to get the best out of you. So on some of those days you can't be 100% always. So some of those days when you're not at your best and the teachers just want to make you feel like
You're not
you
good enough or
yes, you're not
something.
good enough, and some courses
Mm.
are also very difficult. Like this particular scenario was a particular course in my school. Then it was a very difficult course, and the teacher teaching the course was also very difficult. So it made it difficult for me. It was topographical anatomy at this point. Yeah, so it was difficult, and I wanted to quit at that point. Yeah.
Mm. So what now made you to keep going?
Well, like I said, I always have the zeal to see out whatever I start, and also
Mm.
the encouragement from my family, and they all had to remind me of what it took for me to get there.
Mm.
So I think those two were the major factors, and of course, God helped me through out the process.
So how many foreign students were in your class?
In my class in Ukraine, we initially we started. I think in my set we started off at I think almost 300 international
Wow.
medical students. Yes.
Nigerians were the most, right?
Indians and Nigerians, but Indians, to be honest,
Indians are everywhere.
yeah, they are.
India.
They are.
I used to think it's Nigeria, but
No, Indians.
even in the UK, Indians.
I think medical, for them, medical school and anything, medical life is like top for them. Yeah. So, yes,
Nigerians actually travel to India for medical treatment.
Yes,
but the Indians don't even school in India.
No, they school, but I think they have this quota where it's not everybody that can get in. So the ones that can't get in, they go to other countries to study. So a lot of them, as at that time, were in Ukraine because, like I said, the publicity and the people who had studied from the past, when they went back to India to write their exams, their license exam, which is the FMG, currently is the FMG, they all did, most of them did well. So I think it helped to boost the publicity and everything. So a lot of them, even the ambassador to the Indian ambassador to Ukraine visited our school at some point. Yes, because they wanted to see what was going on. Yeah, we had a lot of Indians. We started off almost 300, I think, and we ended with about 100 and something.
What happened? They couldn't come
again. Yeah, in my first year, a lot of people had to leave my school because my school is very tough. Is actually, in my opinion, is the toughest school in Ukraine. Wow. Yes, that's Ternopil National Medical University. Before it was a state university, but after they proved their competence and everything over the years, I think it became a national university in Ukraine.
Topo what? Can you say it again?
I said Ternopil National Medical University.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because there are people out there that might be thinking of where to go. The Ukraine is even not. People can go there right now, right?
Yeah, currently, no.
People can go there. So, if you want to suggest where people can go to right now outside Ukraine, which other country in Europe do you think they should go for their medical studies?
Okay, so if you would like to study medicine outside Nigeria, for example, and you want to study abroad, I think here Hungary is good, yes, but the problem is always
the language.
No, it's not about the language, it's about the money. Okay. It's very expensive as compared to it's very expensive. I pay like what they pay here is like 4 times what I pay in a year. Yes, it's very expensive here, but they have very good. They have 4 medical schools here, and they are very good. Yeah. Because there are also other places, but this place stands out because you're taught in English. So the prices are not like what you would see in Germany, because in German medical schools, most of them are taught in German. Okay. So, I mean, that's like if you want to study in English. In Germany, they have German medical schools taught in German, which are not expensive, but it's taught in German. You would have to prove your proficiency in German before they can even entering is a problem. So, but here it's English and it's good, and it's in the European Union, and so.
Okay, so in the other video we did, he talked about his life in Ukraine, especially concerning the war. You can actually try and watch the video because I'm going to be asking, some questions now. So from Ukraine, he's currently in Hungary and he's working here as a doctor. So how did you go about all of that?
Oh, well, when I stayed back, after staying back here in Hungary, I made 1-2 friends like that, people, and I went back. But before I went back, I started looking.
You went back to Ukraine?
Yes, before I went back for my exams. For my final. But before I went back, I had to start scouting and looking for a job in the hospitals here
Mm.
in Hungary
Mm.
to see the possibility because I know Ukraine is not in the European Union and
Yeah.
here is in this is European Union, so the certificates are not easily like accepted
Okay.
exactly because they only
Oh,
accept if it's EU, then it's easier to make
okay.
the recognition. So yeah, I started scouting with the help of one, two people, and I got a job in a hospital, and as at this time they were like, okay, you have to go back complete your studies. When you have your degree, your diploma is the only proof that okay you
Why do
studied.
they call it diploma?
This
Your
is what
BSc?
they call it in Europe actually.
Oh, okay,
In
diploma.
almost yes, especially in this
Because you're calling
Eastern.
diploma in Nigerian, to me, I'm thinking 2 years. No, he actually spent 6 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
six complete years.
it's diploma. They call it diploma. Yeah, here
Mm.
in Europe. So yes, and that was it. God helped me. I got the job, and I had to take the documents for the job going back to Ukraine. And after my exams, I had to apply for the visa,
Okay.
to the work visa to come into Hungary and work here.
Mm.
So yes, and then I went back, passed my exams, came back, uh, applied for the visa in Ukraine, of course,
Okay.
got the visa, came back here, and now I'm working here, and also I am making my recognition of my diploma in the European Union.
Okay.
I already started the
Okay, so
process,
that
so
they can
it's going.
recognize it. Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, so that I can have this.
Okay.
Yes, so this is what is going on now, and while I'm practicing, so there is an opportunity for you to practice for a period of time
Mm.
and then get your diploma automatically recognized in
Okay.
Hungary.
Okay. How
So
many
this
years do
is
you practice before
no,
it's
it's not
recognized?
just 1 year.
Okay, so what's
So
the
it's
culture
12
shock
months.
like? What's the moving from Ukraine to Hungary?
Oh, well, the
The
culture.
language,
Yes,
you had to learn the language there in Ukraine.
yes,
Now you're in Hungary, the
yes,
language is different. How
yes,
are you
yes.
coping with
The
that?
Hungarian language is about the second or the third most difficult language in the world.
Ah,
Yeah, after Chinese or Japanese, I
mm,
can't. Yes, this is another very
really?
difficult language. In Europe, in this side, they have the Slovak language where you speak Russian, Ukraine, Serbia, all these countries. But in
Hungary.
Hungary, I don't know. They adopted their language from somewhere different, so it's not there. They don't speak Slovak, so they have a very weird language.
So how are you now coping, interacting with patients in the
Okay,
hospital and all
so
that?
while I went back, I tried to learn a few things. Like while I was after my exams, after my final, when I knew I was going to come here, I
Mm.
tried to learn a few things, and also I started learning while on the job as well. So, language is not something you learn like okay, one day
But it
or
was easier with Ukrainian
yes,
language. Or...
Ukrainian language it was easier, and yes, I mean I was still much younger. This was 7 years ago, and
Mm.
the
Now,
motivation was
yeah.
very much there.
Mm.
Now it's not like the motivation is not there, but it's not as much as it used to be. But
Mm.
yes, I am learning the language, and yeah, I would see how it goes.
Okay, so how is life generally like? Standard of living here?
Okay, here compared to Ukraine, Ukraine was cheaper before the war. Yes, it was
Okay.
cheaper. Everything was food was cheaper. Everything actually was
Mm.
cheaper in Ukraine
So you
compared to
prefer
this
here
place.
to Ukraine or which one?
Oh, well, I've spent a lot of time in Ukraine and with a lot of people, and
Mm.
yeah, I don't know if I would say I prefer Ukraine,
Mm.
uh, but I know that the family we had in Ukraine, I
Mm.
don't have it here. I think that's what
Okay,
stands
because we don't
out.
have a lot of blacks here.
Blocked, yes, 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 but
But you mix with the people. Okay, the language again.
yeah,
So
so
you're always feeling lonely, eh?
most of the time, yes,
Oh.
most of the time, yes, it's very. And in the city where I work, there are not a lot of black people there too.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's very difficult living outside home.
Outside home, then
Outside home,
then a
and then
place
a
that they don't
place
speak
where
English.
they don't speak English. Yes, this is
Oh.
even much more difficult. Yes, it's
Well,
lonely.
if not for the Ukrainian war, you would have still been in Ukraine, right?
Well, if not for the war, maybe not, because I don't know. Maybe I would have gone back to Nigeria to write my license exams in Nigeria and not
Okay,
come
so
here.
you're still gonna write the license exams in Nigeria
Yes,
if
yes,
you want to
yes.
practice
If
in
I want to
Nigeria.
practice in
So do
Nigeria.
you want to practice in Nigeria?
Well, everyone at some point would appreciate having something like the license in their home
Home country.
country. Yes, at some point.
Mm.
Yes, but right now I'm focusing on getting the license here, which I already started the process and should be completed in a couple of months.
Okay.
By God's grace. So
That's a good one. So what will you say to those intending to come to Europe to study medicine? Nigerians back home. You say you had a lot of Ghanaians in your school too.
yes,
And
yes,
currently
yes,
you
a lot
live
of
in Ghana.
a lot of them, a
You're
lot
friends
of
with
them.
them.
Yes, a lot
Oh.
of them. Yeah, they were my friends, they were my seniors, they were my pastors.
Oh.
Like this, yes, I have a lot.
So
of
what
them.
will you say to your people back home
Oh.
who wish to come to Europe to study medicine?
Okay. If you would like to come to Europe to study medicine, I have first of all, the first thing is to know what exactly you want. Do you want to come to Europe, study, and go back to your home country, or you want to come to Europe, study, and remain in Europe? I would say if the latter is the case, you should be looking forward to studying in any of these EU countries.
Okay.
Like Romania is the cheapest amongst the EU countries. You
Okay.
can find schools as cheap as 6,000 euros or 6,005 within this range, 6,000, 7,005, like this. But here in Hungary, I think their school fees ranges from 16,000 euros. Yeah. So Romania is about the cheapest European country you would
And
get.
the standard of living there too is
Yes, it's also okay. Yeah. So yeah, the same Hungary is also the standard of it's just the school fees that is expensive.
So what other thing?
So the European Union, if you study, like I said, if you want to remain in Europe, if you study in European Union, it helps you to further your practice after studying here, because you get the opportunity to try to practice in other European countries. They have this agreement in the EU directive where every degree obtained in one country is accepted in other countries, provided you maybe you satisfy their language requirements. For example, if it's needed for the course, like in medicine, most times you would need it. Aside that, it's
but the work generally is fair.
Yeah.
Dealing with the people, eh?
Yes. The people in Hungary, I think they are really nice people. Yeah, they are really nice people and they are receptive. And
They are not scared to say black. Like, what's he doing in my country?
Well, not really, because for example, in the city where I work, once they see you, they are like, oh, they say, oh, this is a doctor Kor husband. Like, this means a doctor in the hospital. Kor has his hospital. Kor husband is in the hospital.
Okay.
So yes, so they always say this. So if they see you as a black person in their city, they know, okay, already this one is here to help us.
Okay. That's how they see it.
Yes, that's how they see it. So yeah, a few the kids might get scared if they see you, because they are not very exposed to seeing this color, this skin color. So yeah, a few of them might get scared, while a few might not actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
People can actually reach out to you, right?
Yes.
Do people reach out to you from Africa?
Yes, of course.
Okay, people want to ask questions and all that, because some people might see this video and they might want to.
Oh yes, feel free to reach out to me.
They'll reach out to me.
Okay.
Then I will now.
Yes, because I think over the years I would say that I have enough knowledge about studying abroad, especially medicine. I can give you the advice you need if you have what it takes to study in Europe. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I can.
So guys, okay, so you don't know the language. I say you speak Hungarian language. So speak Ukrainian language for us. Let's hear.
Oh, I can also speak something in Hungarian.
Ukrainian first.
What do you want me to say?
Anything. I just say something to your people too, like maybe your friends that went back to Nigeria that
Mm,
were once schooling in Ukraine, but because of the war, you people are not.
okay, so I would just tell them, don't worry, everything will be fine.
Okay, so
Yeah,
say it.
so ne perеживай, все bude добре.
Can you say the same thing in Hungarian language?
Uh, I have to think about it. Yes, I have to because I'm not
Too fluent yet.
yes not too fluent, but yes I can.
Mm.
Ne agod minden renden minden renden again.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Mhm.
Bye.